Hi, guys. Yeah, you start.
Hey guys, it has been a wonderful year for Magic. It has been high power and absolutely lovely. We wanted to share our top 10 cards that came out in the year 2023. This is Levi, that's Howie, and
Hey.
we're Northwest Magic.
Yeah, we're going to talk about our top 10 cards of the year. There's more than 10 cards we liked this year, believe it or not.
Yeah.
More than 10 periods, so we had to narrow down. It was difficult. It's going to be a wild ride, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to jump right into it, Levi. Do you want to read number 10?
Number 10. Coming in strong, we have one that as of recording isn't even out yet, but will be.
It will be.
Shamil The Inner Sun. It's a 6-mana legendary artifact. Spells you control can't be countered. And then at the beginning of your end step, you discover 5. This
New mechanic
is incredibly strong. Notice it says spells, so anything. Nothing.
Everything.
Everything just can't be countered. So, that's just amazing. And Discover 5 is a great mechanic as well. In colorless, so you can put it in
colorless. It's really good, yeah.
Any deck that you want.
And usually, I don't care much for effects like these where it's like, yeah, you play it and then you kind of spend your whole turn playing that. You don't get really much.
Yeah, very true, very true.
I cast this and I pass, but like you get that Discover 5, so you're at least getting something. Whether you get ramp off the top or maybe you get something really good, but you still get something, which is better than just play go.
5 is a solid number. Like you can't complain about 5 being a very solid number for that sort of stuff. So
yeah, you can hit a Soul Ring, but you
can hit a Soul Ring, but you can also hit.
Soul Ring's not the worst thing to hit though. That's
true.
2 free mana.
There's a lot of really good things. So
if you hit something you don't like, maybe you should build a different deck.
And you can just put it in your hand. It's better than Cascade.
Yeah. I like it a lot. Nissa, Resurgent Animist, is our number 9 pick. Yeah, 2 and a green for a legendary creature, Elf Scout. I've seen a lot of Scouts this year, I feel like. It has landfall. It's a 3/3. It has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then, if it is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. Put that card into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is probably the landfall staple of the year, I would say.
Elementals are really common in landfalls, and even if you're not going too crazy into that, it still also pulls elves. So,
which is also, there are elves that matter. Like
there is, yeah,
the red green one that lets you play an additional land each turn. Mina and Den.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're called, yeah. And there's something else, I'm sure. You get mana and card advantage all in one card, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to resolve like Escape Shift and just get like 10 mana off this.
Just get a million. Yeah, just get a ton of stuff off of here. This is a great card.
It's just like Lotus Cobra upgraded, you know what I mean?
Yeah, better
I
Lotus Cobra.
love Lotus Cobra. I love Lotus Cobra. So.
And this year, we had our Sword of Forge and Frontier revealed. You remember that? That was a big deal. Everybody was freaking out about it.
January.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was like beginning of the year. But yeah, it was very hype. I remember that. It is a 3-mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from green. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn, and you may play an additional land this turn. This got our number 8 spot here because that is incredibly powerful. Being able to get 2 cards off the top, Impulse Draw, as well as being able to play an extra land, it can fit really, really well into a lot of decks. And having protection from red and from green is always solid. This is just a very good sword.
Yeah, I like every word on this card. We're pumping up our stuff. we're getting that protection, so we're not going to get hit from those colors, and we're not going to be able to be blocked by those colors, so we're always going to get in for damage, most likely. Always, most likely. You get the card advantage, and you get the ramp. And that's really good. With double strike, that's even better. Or an additional combat or extra turns, however you can do that. But either way, I like the card. And it's colorless, goes in any deck.
Yeah.
I don't think people are rating this card as high as they should be.
Yeah,
I don't
this
think
one...
it's not game warping, but like I think it's definitely an above average card, like all around. I think it's solid.
I feel like if you know, you know. When it comes to some of these really good swords, I feel like people that are kind of newer don't really see the value in these swords, but like you ask somebody who's been playing this game for a long time, and they look at that and go, "Wow, that's amazing."
Yeah, I was definitely guilty of that when I was a young lad. I was like, "Why would I play this?" And I was like looking at Feast and Famine or something. That was bad.
Yeah, you're like, now this is a sword. Feast and Famine? Yeah, this is the sword I want.
Yeah, that's the best sword that came out this year. Sorry, Once and Future. Anyway.
What's our number 7, Howie?
City on Fire. It's Fire Emancipation, but I would say it's better. Anyway, what that means... is it's a red enchantment. It's 5 red. So 8 mana. It has Convoke, so your creatures can help cast the spell.
Oh, yeah.
If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage instead. Any source you control, any permanent, any player. That's awesome.
Howie, you hit me with one of these the other day, and that hurt really bad.
Hit you with this today, I think.
Oh my gosh, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really strong, and you feel it too. When someone has this on the field, you can feel it. It hurts.
Threatening.
It is so threatening. It is a remove on site type thing, and honestly, remove on site cards mean they're good, so.
Yeah. If something gets removed, then that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That means it's good.
City on Fire, fantastic.
I have my Omnath deck, and when you play 3 lands, you deal 12 damage to each opponent with this thing out. It's really good.
And that's just like the floor.
Yeah, and that's before you even attack. It's just like, I played 3 lands. Everyone take 12. And also, all your planeswalkers are dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about Omnath. It's a great card.
Point is, City on Fire, great.
If you are playing any deck with red, and you need a little bit of creatures. Like, I wouldn't play it in like a red Spellslinger deck that's not going to play a lot of creatures, but like otherwise,
like a Kaikar deck, for example, where you're making spirits and stuff. I think this would go perfect.
I would play it in that, but not like a mono red Urbrask Storm deck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, check out the video on our channel.
Pretty sure we put it in that deck.
I think we did.
It belongs in there. Man, it belongs everywhere. I like it a lot.
Yeah, we love that card. Let's go on to another one that really made a big impact on us, especially with this color. Our number 6 pick was Moonshaker Cavalry. It's 5 white, creature spirit knight. When it has flying. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. Really similar to a Craterhoof Behemoth. It's something that this color, I feel like it needs. We like to see another finisher with a color that really goes wide. You know what I mean? We didn't want that big old behemoth taking up the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? It's time for a new guy to come in, and giving everything flying and +X/+X. Most of the time, you're winning with this card out.
Yeah,
on that same turn.
Crippling
at the very least.
Yeah.
Beautiful card. Love that.
And if you're playing a green-white deck, put them both in there, and it's just a little more consistent.
Yeah, could you imagine?
I do like that it is a Craterhoof in non-green decks, though. Like, that really matters.
The fact that you don't need green.
Mono White's making it out better these days than they used to.
You don't
They're
need
not quite
green.
there, in my opinion. They need a couple more, like, good ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
good ones.
that's very true.
And I do like that it's the triple white cost, because I don't want this in every deck. You know what I mean? It's a little restrictive, and I like that.
It belongs in some go wide token decks. It belongs in stuff like that. So, and and that's what it's trying to do. It isn't trying to be anything more than it is. But what it's doing is amazing.
It's awesome. It's pretty cool. Number 5. Ooh, I like that. I got to read number 5 because this...
He's like your favorite card ever now.
I talk about this card all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I probably talked about it on half the videos we put out. It's a Tali, Primal Conqueror. Add another video to the list. It's a 7-mana legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur. 7/7 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. And then it has an ability for 9 and a Phyrexian Grain. That's pretty cool. Transform him only as a sorcery. He turns into a Tali Primal Sickness, Phyrexian Elder Dinosaur, 11/11, trample indestructible. When he deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. So not only is the backside a win con, but the front side is a 5-for-1, and that's insane.
Oh,
You can do some crazy combos with this. Like, this channel wasn't around last year, but Displacer Kitten probably would have been on the top top 2022 cards, and that mixed with this means that you probably play every card in everybody's deck, and that's just sweet.
Oh yeah, we love to see it. A big dino that can also combo and play things for free. What else can you really truly ask for?
There's nothing about this card I don't like. I know I said that already about a different card, about Sword of Red and Green. This is red and green. I like red and green, I guess.
Yeah, red and green.
I didn't know I did. That's cool. But this card's awesome. And it's just a dinosaur.
All my homies love Itali. Alright, guys. Number 4. I'm glad I got to talk about this one, too, because I really like this card. MRA Glory Dominus. You knew this one was coming, folks. If you know, you know. It's 2 and 2 white for a Phyrexian Horror. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Already doubling effects are insane. But one of the biggest pieces to this, why it's so good, is that it has the 1 and 2 Phyrexian white. You get to sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures, put an indestructible counter on MRA Glory Dominus. This is something that other token doublers don't have, like Anointed Procession, for example. It has built-in protection, baby. This thing can protect itself. And
also a built-in sack outlet.
And built-in sack outlet. This card does so many things for 4 mana.
As long as you can do that indestructible counter, have that ready, then you're good. Because if you have it ready, nobody's going to deal with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The threat of activation, nobody's going to be like, yeah, I destroy it. If you can just pay the costs, it doesn't matter. They're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. And since it's really tied to a creature, it's, removal. It's a little bit more susceptible to removal. Especially removal that is heavier on, destruction. So, it's so nice having that. Yeah, just overall, token doubling is amazing. And it being able to protect itself is incredible. So, it earned its number 4 spot.
I really like how this list is turning out because I get to talk about number 3. I also won't shut up about this card.
It's true. I don't think I've gotten much of a chance to talk about this one.
Roaming
chair. It's a chair.
It's the walking chair. It looks like the Zelda dude, the Guardians. You know what I mean? Oh, dude,
Sheikah Guardian. Oh, do you have a Sheikah Guardian? Look at him.
It looks like this.
He does.
It looks like this. Wow, I just happen to have that right there.
He does look like him.
He does. Anyway. He's 4 mana. Ward 2. He's a 4/4 artifact creature golem. Said that in a weird order. As he enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. He's the chosen type in addition to its other types. And if a triggered ability of another trigger you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. This is insane in tribal decks, and I think it's insane as long as your commander has a triggered ability, even if it's not a tribal deck. It's crazy.
Yeah, this gets mad value out of not being in a tribal deck, and then if it is in a tribal deck, it's exponentially better. This thing, it goes so hard. I can't wait to play this card.
Like, I've told you about the Miram interaction, right? Let me tell the audience.
Mm-hmm.
It enters as a dragon. I almost said Mondrak. So Miram says, yeah, I'll make 2 more of those because it's already on the battlefield as triggers it. So you end up with 3. Yeah, so then every time you play a dragon after that, you get 4 of those dragons. That's crazy. You can play you play Roaming Throne into a Terror of the Peaks, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just get a whole bunch of those.
Just way too many Terror of the Peaks.
Or I've talked to you about this. I have a couple commanders that they're not tribal, but they have 2 triggered abilities on them. I have Calamax. You have Calamax too.
Mm-hmm. Put Roaming Throne in there. Abilities. Have them entered.
Yeah. I want to build Alayla. She's got 2 triggered abilities. It's awesome. Just double up on everything.
Shout out to the new Calamax art, by the way. I'll throw it up on the screen. He looks like me when I stub my toe.
Yeah. Mixed with Littlefoot.
Yeah.
Long neck. He's a long neck.
Yeah. All right. Here's one that was very... a lot of people were scared of it when it first showed up. It made quite the impact. Elish Nord. Oh, number 2. Elish Nord, Mother of Machines. It's 4 and a white. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. And then permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. This is so insanely powerful. It's kind of dumb. It's Yarok the Desecrated mixed with, something that is stacksy against your opponents.
Anti-Yarok.
Yeah, anti-Yarok.
Yeah. Can't play her in Yarok.
Insane. Can't play her in Yarok, but that's okay.
No. She's awesome. There's a lot of permanents that cause things to do things when they enter the battlefield.
She is so scary when she's on the field.
Like Landfall. That's my favorite example of her.
Yeah, it's a good example.
She's in my Landfall deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and Nissa, they hang out together.
And then let's imagine if you had her out and I was playing a Landfall deck. Oh, doesn't matter. I can't. Nothing works.
You don't get to Landfall.
I don't get my Landfall triggers.
No.
You get double those.
You can play this in any white deck, and it'll probably do a lot for you, even if you're not benefiting from the double triggers or
honestly,
additional trigger. And it's one of those cards where you won't know that it's doing you so much work because people are going to be holding back their cards. They're not going to play their Reclamation Sage if nothing's going to get destroyed because of it, unless they misplay, which I've seen a lot of people misplay into this because they're just not ready.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think about it.
I love my Eternal Witnesses. Yeah. So I can't do anything with them. I'm not going to play them. So,
nope.
Yeah, just overall, insane card. So insane. I'm speechless. Yeah. I'm truly speechless.
Awesome.
Well, before we get to our number 1 pick, we have some honorable mentions. Howie, do you have one for us? Do you want to have one to show the class?
Yeah, I want to show the class. I like this one a lot. I don't know where I would put it, though. OHare. I don't know how to say it. Tack. The white one.
Yeah.
Deepest Foundation. 4 white. 6 mana. It gives you triple creature tokens when you make a creature token.
Specifically creature tokens.
Yeah. So it gives you triple, but it's a little bit more restrictive. It's awesome. It's super awesome. And then if it would die, it turns into a land, and then you can turn it back.
Yeah, it has a comeback mechanic.
Yeah, it's a god. They do those things, but it's cool. Super cool.
Yeah, honestly, it's incredibly strong. We didn't know if it could really make top 10 or not, but man, I could see why it would be in your top 10 if you're somebody that likes stuff like this. So, super strong.
We say it a lot. We like to do things twice. And when you do things 3 times, it's threatening.
Yeah.
Throw back to City on Fire.
Yeah, thrice.
Thrice, triple, 3 times.
Another one that people, when it came out, I think it read really scarily and is pretty scary. I've played against it, is Mirkwood Bats. 3 and a black, creature bat. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. So if you combine this, if you have like a white and black deck or something like that, and you combine this with, treasures or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Smothering Tithe, for example. It's any token. This can get out of hand very quickly. You can, especially if you copy Mirkwood Bats, creating and sacrificing all these tokens, people are getting machine gunned real quick. This thing...
If you play Walking Throne,
yeah.
Bat.
Roaming Throne.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's a really
Walking
good card.
Chair.
Walking Chair.
Yeah. We didn't think it quite fit top 10 because it's, well, I don't know. It's good.
It's good. It's not
really
as good as the other 10 in our opinion.
Worth talking about at the very least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the last honorable mention we have is Fairy Mastermind. Probably the best draw card that came out. Card advantage card that came out this year, I would say.
It did. It is.
I don't think we had much other card advantage on the list at all. Nissa a little bit, but... Oh, Atali's like straight gas. I want card advantage too, but like this one's like it'll last you a long time. It comes down way earlier on turn 2. It's got flash or whatever. I didn't read the card. Flash flying 2/1 for 2 mana. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and then it has an activated ability for 4 mana to make each player draw a card. So you just end up drawing a lot with this on the field because people draw cards. It's like part of the game. People usually make like a good chunk of their deck into card draw, and it happens on their turn a lot.
Card advantage is just one of the strongest parts about Magic. If you have a deck that is built well, you're going to have the best chance of winning if you have more cards in hand than anybody else. It's just straight facts.
Yeah.
But
say it.
Without further ado,
say the card.
This fits our number 1 spot so
Spoilers.
well. You know it had to be it, guys. The One Ring. Come on, this card is stupid good. It is a 4 mana legendary artifact, indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. You can tap to put a burden counter on the One Ring, and then draw a card for each burden counter on it. What I just say about card advantage, this thing gives you mad card advantage.
I didn't realize this was indestructible. There's a lot of words on this card.
You've read it how many times, Howie?
A lot. We've talked about it a lot too.
Honestly, it's the smallest part of this card.
You ever go on like Reddit and like look at like the custom cards people make? Because this is what that looks like.
This really does. It is.
It's like so good. It's so good. It goes in it's almost an auto include in the format, which might be a little bit of a problem, but that's also why it's the best card of the year in our opinion.
Yeah. It goes to show that it's just so sought after. No one's gonna be selling it because I think this came in every one of the bundles,
yeah.
And it's still like a $60+ card, something like that. It's like $50+, something like that. So
either way, it's holding its value.
And it's gonna hold its
really
value.
Good. It's really good.
Because when's the next time they're probably going to reprint something like this? Maybe in a list slot? I don't know if they do something like that for sets that are more specialty, such as Lord of the Rings.
The Universes Beyond stuff, I don't know.
Do they really do that in list spots? I don't know. But
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
This
but
card's
maybe.
going to remain valuable, and it's going to remain powerful. And it's just the strongest card to come out this year. Period.
We're also just talking, I just wanted to say too, we're also just talking no synergy. If you have ways to proliferate or take counters off or untap it or care about artifacts,
yeah,
it's just it just gets better. Like, because there's so many words on it, there's probably something you're going to be synergizing with in some capacity. That was our top 10 plus honorable mentions of the year. We probably forgot a card that was pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I want you guys to tell me about a card that we missed.
Yeah.
Because I love hearing about cool cards.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if we missed anything awesome. Came out this year. So, yeah, just like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye, everybody.